Bonjour à tous, bienvenue à la conférence de presse de Canada Soccer avant le match aller contre la Jamaïque en quart de finale de la Ligue des Nations de la CONCACAF. Hello everyone, welcome. This is Canada Soccer's Matchday -1 press conference with Canada Soccer men's national team interim head coach Mauro Biello ahead of the first leg of the away and home series against Jamaica in the CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinals. Please make sure to raise your hand if you have a question and we'll try to get to you. Let's get started with John Molinaro.
Thanks. Hi, Mauro. Good of you to talk to us. Thanks as always. It's been a while since you played Jamaica, since that fateful day back in March of last year when you guys qualified, but they've undergone some changes with a new coach and some new players in there as well. Just wanted to get your sense of what you're expecting from them, especially from a tactical perspective over these two games.
Yeah, I think obviously, if you look at their roster, it's a little bit different than the team that we played back in qualifying. I think when you look at the likes of Antonio, Bailey, Gray, Reed, these are players, Pinnock, these are players that are playing in the Premiership. So for us, we're expecting a tough opponent, in difficult conditions. So it's about preparing in the right way, and that's what we focused in on this week, and doing everything that we can to put us in the best conditions, whether it's fighting elements, whether it's fighting their style of play, but to be ready now to face a very difficult opponent.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Evino?
Oui, bonjour, salut Moreau. Moreau, j'aimerais ça que tu me parles d'un peu de Jonathan David, qui est dans une léthargie présentement dans sa ligue respective, n'a pas marqué à ses 9 derniers matchs. Est-ce que tu t'es assis avec lui, lorsqu'il a rejoint l'équipe cette semaine? Est-ce que tu parles de choses comme ça avec lui? Est-ce que c'est son contrat qui le dérange, des rumeurs de transfert? Qu'est-ce que tu peux nous dire sur la situation là, de Jonathan David actuellement et comment qu'on fait pour lui donner un boost de confiance dans ces deux matchs-là contre la Jamaïque? Merci.
Oui, certainement que je parle avec lui. C'est quelque chose que je dois faire comme entraîneur, d'avoir cette communication avec tous mes joueurs. Et c'est pas changé avec Jonathan. Et pour lui, on sait la vie d'un attaquant. Hein? Et ça arrive des fois qu'il y a des moments comme ça. Et Jonathan est quelqu'un qui est très fort mentalement. C'est quelqu'un qui va continuer à faire son travail. Qu'est-ce qu'il doit faire pour aider l'équipe? Et des fois, pour moi, qu'est-ce que je lui ai dit? J'ai dit, Jonathan, toi, tu amènes beaucoup plus que les buts à cette équipe. Et quand tu es capable de te focaliser sur ça, les buts ils vont venir. Alors, c'est quelqu'un qui est très fort. Je suis confiant qu'il va être prêt pour ces deux matchs-là et il va aider cette équipe. Merci.
Mitchell?
Hey, Mauro. Kind of just building on John's question, especially early on in World Cup qualifying, the team was able to get some pretty historic away results. What can you learn maybe from some of those performances and the mentality in the group in a difficult away match against Jamaica?
Yeah, I think obviously we had some good results on the road in qualifying. We know that this is going to be, a difficult place to play in. We haven't won there in 35 years. So for us, it's understanding that contextually that we're going to be facing a difficult opponent, but at the same time, we know what we're capable of doing, and we've shown it in the past, and I think that's what we're going to focus in on. And when we had to dig deep in those moments in qualifying, when we knew it was hard, when we knew that there was whether it was the fans, whether it was the field, whether it was the weather, so it's all things that we had to deal with going into these environments, and this is why there's an experienced group that has lived those moments and to help us and glue everything together to allow us now to be ready, right? You can't go in here and be surprised and not know what to expect. So the players know what to expect. They know it's going to be difficult, and they know what they need to do to get the result here in Jamaica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeremy?
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
OK. Salut, Moreau. Juste confirmer, tu viens de mentionner que le Canada n'a pas gagné en Jamaïque depuis 35 ans, c'est ça que tu as mentionné?
Oui, c'est
OK.
absolument ça. La dernière fois, c'était en 88.
OK, parfait, merci. Moreau, j'ai comme le sentiment que c'est un must-win, cette série-là, contre la Jamaïque, pour plusieurs raisons. Toi, tu essaies de te faire confirmer en tant qu'entraîneur-chef de cette équipe nationale-là, puis tout le pays s'attend à ce que vous gagniez. Même si on sait que ce ne sera pas facile, c'est un adversaire coriace, mais étant donné que vous avez eu du succès contre eux récemment quand même, les gens s'attendent et ne veulent rien d'autre que voir le Canada passer. Est-ce que tu as le sentiment que c'est un must-win, c'est comme un do or die, surtout avec une possible qualification en Copa América pour l'année prochaine, au bout de la ligne?
Oui, c'est un match extrêmement important. On sait que on sait qu'est-ce qui nous attend après ça. Et pour nous, c'est d'aller chercher la victoire et la qualification. Il n'y a rien d'autre. Je sais qu'on a des attentes de nos fans. Ils attendent qu'on sort de cette série et on se prépare pour la finale. Alors pour nous, les joueurs, ils savent ça, mais les attentes sont, on commence envers nos attentes envers nous et les standards que nous avons mis nous-mêmes. Et pour nous, c'est de toujours atteindre ces standards et de les surmonter, surpasser. Alors pour nous, ça, c'est quelque chose qu'on a discuté, on a parlé de ça. Et oui, nos fans, ils attendent qu'on gagne, mais il faut aussi comprendre que ça ne va pas être facile. Et comme j'ai dit avant, il y a des joueurs qui jouent en Premiership. C'est pas la même équipe. Hein. On a fait 0-0 là-bas et aucun de ces joueurs était dans l'aliment. Alors, il faut comprendre ça, mais il faut aussi comprendre que nous aussi, on est une bonne équipe et on a un certain standard qu'il faut atteindre à chaque fois.
Merci.
Joe?
Merci.
Thanks. Hi, Mauro. I just wonder, I wanted to chat maybe particularly about the defense. Clean sheets have been a little bit harder to come by of late for the men's team, and we know they haven't been playing as much together as other national teams lately. And then on the flip side, Jamaica seem to have found an attacking edge under Hyder. Like, what have you been working on this week in terms of the defense, and how important is it that they kind of settle early, which is something that didn't happen in Japan?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it starts with a tight team, front to back, side to side. I think when you're able to have those lines nice and compact, you're able to close spaces, you're able to break up plays. So it starts with that. And I think that's the most important thing. And, just the other day, we had some metrics come out of the World Cup, and 8 of the 10 teams that went through to the rounds of 16 and beyond were the teams that were the most compact. So it just goes to show you that closing spaces down, being patient are things that we're going to have to continue to work on. But when you're super tight, and you got to expect that ball in behind. And I think that's some of the things that we learned from the Japan game, right? We want to be super tight. Yeah, it's fine to, they won't play through us. But at the end of the day, when they don't see that space through, they're going to try to go behind. So we got to be ready for that ball and win all those races in behind and making sure that they're not getting any success in the channel. So defensively, yeah, there's been a lot of work this week and a lot of focus on that. Box defending, running back to goal defending, all these types of situations that we're going to expect against Jamaica. And the work has been done and we've been sharp, but now it's time to execute and against really good forwards.
Cheers, Mauro. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Elias?
Hey, Mauro, can you hear me?
Yeah, very good.
Thank you for your time as always. It's good to see you. In general, these 2-game series, it always feels like Canada has the advantage because they always play a second game at home. I just want to get your perspective on that situation and if you feel that is the same.
Oh, I think, look, it's, I wouldn't say we have the advantage. I think, you go into Jamaica, which is obviously, like I said earlier, it's 35 years the last time we won there. So we're expecting a difficult game in there. And then, for us, it's about getting the results, right? And for sure, having that opportunity to play at home in front of our fans. It's something that the players love doing, enjoy doing, but it's also that extra man that we need in critical moments, because it will be a tough game in Toronto. We know the elements in Jamaica will be difficult, but it'll also be difficult in Toronto. So for us, it'll be, it's how we manage the chaos, and there'll be a lot of chaos in these two games. And I think these 2-game series, it's always important, that first one, and getting that result, and giving us that opportunity to take care of business back home.
Jean-François?
Salut Mauro, ça va bien?
Oui, ça va très bien, merci.
Super. Peut-être un petit mot sur la Coupe du Monde U17 qui vient de se terminer pour le Canada. Ça n'a pas été facile là-bas. Est-ce que tu sais un peu qu'est-ce qui s'est passé pour l'équipe? Pourquoi ça a été si difficile là-bas? Et peut-être même pour ton fils aussi. Il s'est fait sortir dès le premier match. Ça n'a pas été une bonne nouvelle de ce côté-là, mais as-tu des informations par rapport à la Coupe du Monde U17?
Oui, j'ai reçu des informations. J'ai pas eu la chance de voir tous les matchs. Je suis ici en camp et vraiment en train de me focaliser sur qu'est-ce qu'on a devant nous. C'est sûr que mon fils était là, et comme père, oui, je sais c'était difficile pour lui avec le carton rouge. Je sais comment il a travaillé tellement fort pour avoir cette opportunité, et n'a pas eu sa chance à cause du carton. Et malheureusement pour l'équipe, ils n'ont pas eu les résultats. Et on sait que c'est difficile, mais on sait aussi qu'il y a du travail à faire. Il y a du travail à faire pour ces jeunes-là, et de les mettre dans ces conditions plus souvent. Et je pense que ça, c'est la chose clé qui sort de tout ça. Et quand tu vas dans ces tournois-là, il faut vivre des moments difficiles. Et la seule façon de vivre ces moments difficiles, c'est d'avoir plus d'expérience dans ces tournois comme ça.
Est-ce que vous trouvez que c'est un symptôme peut-être du contexte de développement au Canada, que l'équipe n'a pas bien performé là-bas? Ou bien c'est juste est-ce que c'est le développement au Canada qui fait en sorte que les joueurs n'ont pas bien performé, ou c'est juste les matchs ont été difficiles pour l'équipe?
Oui, les matchs étaient difficiles, ça c'est sûr. Et on savait ça, on n'a jamais gagné un match à la Coupe du Monde. Alors ça, c'est un processus aussi. Et c'est normal que les choses n'ont pas allé bien pour l'équipe dans le premier match. Et puis, ils se sont mis dans une situation, le deuxième match, qu'ils devaient gagner, et ils n'étaient pas capables de réussir. Mais à la fin, oui, il y a des performances qui doivent être évaluées, ça c'est normal. Mais en même temps, il y a aussi tout le travail qui était fait avant qui aussi doit s'améliorer au niveau de plus de matchs.
Merci.
Andre Chida?
Yes, good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
So, what do you think is the biggest weakness in the Jamaican team, and how you plan to exploit that weakness?
Yeah, I think they're, I'll start with their strengths. I think they're a good team, very, a lot of experience in this team, guys that have played at the highest level. So this is a team, that's come together now over the last, I'd say, couple of tournaments. They've gained cohesion together. So those are things that we have to be ready for. This is a team, especially their front players, that we need to, for sure, pay very close attention, because, they're players that could cause problems. And for us, we got to make sure that we're able to take care of that, and then play our game, and try to exploit them within our tactics, and how we see best to break them down.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Jones?
Hi, Mauro. A two-part question, if I can. I'm assuming because you work so closely with John, there weren't major philosophical differences between you and your approach, but are there ways that we'll see over the next couple of games that you are the coach? And secondly, How are you feeling? Like, are you excited? Are you anxious? Are you someone who sleeps the night before? Are you staring at the ceiling tonight?
Well, I could tell you, I feel better than Japan. It was pretty tough, pretty tough the layover, that's for sure. So, yeah, feel fresh. I think look, at the end, you got to put things in place. You got to learn from that game in Japan. I think there's certain things there that we got to do better. That's what I look to focus in on. You don't have much time really as a coach to really implement some big changes, but there will be some. And at the end of the day, yeah, I think players are starting to see the way I work, starting to see what my message is, starting to understand what I want from them. And I think that clarity for me is important. And it's with games, it's with experience, it's with going through things in training that players start to get that clarity that we need. And look, yeah, we know that these two games will be tough. And you know what? This could be two games that tactics don't mean anything. It's about fighting. It's about battling, because going into these kinds of conditions, we're expecting a lot of rain, and who knows what that field is going to look like. So I have to prepare the team, not only tactically, but I have to prepare their mindset to be ready for that. And I think that'll be crucial. And players have to understand that, they may have to go out of the norm sometimes in these types of games, and it's just because that's what the game is giving us in those moments, whether it's the conditions or the moment in the game. So for me, it's being able to bring them that clarity, and that's through my work, through my meetings, through the training. So that's what I look to implement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John?
Yeah, Mauro, I just wanted to get your sorry, I wanted to ask about Jason Russell-Rowe and how you settled on him as the injury replacement for Lucas Cavallini, and if there were any other injury concerns ahead of this game.
Yeah, I think the Lucas Cavallini selection was, I talked about a game like this, chaos, a lot of transition, a lot of battles, physical battles. Their center backs, their back line is big and strong that you're consistently battling, so for that's the mindset behind it. I remember when we subbed in Lucas at the end of that game in Jamaica, cleared set pieces, brings size, his energy. So this is the thinking behind that, and obviously having that experience, right? And then Jason now fitting that similar profile, a big number 9. That did fairly well in the Gold Cup, but he brings a lot of those similar elements. So it was profile specific of what we need in these types of games. So that's the rationale behind that.
And any other injuries ahead of tomorrow, Mauro? Or are you otherwise healthy?
No, we're healthy. Healthy, no injuries. Everybody's good to go.
Good, thanks. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Charlie?
Thanks. Hey, Mauro. Thanks for taking the time. You spoke a little bit last week about Jonathan David and Kyle Larin coming into camp at a time when things maybe aren't going their way at club level and being able to lift their confidence a bit. I'm just curious, now that you've been able to work with them a bit more and see them in training, just where are they at? What have you seen from them this week?
Yeah, I think, look, they're excited to come here, and obviously, forwards go through these moments, and it happens so often. It's not the first time for them, so it's something that they're used to. They're both mentally very strong, and sometimes when you have a different environment, your mind refocuses on what they have in front of them, and that's 2 important games. They're 2 players that have done extremely well for this country. They know that. The players know that. They know what they could bring to the table. And like I said earlier, sometimes it's not the goals, it's what could you bring more. It's Kyle holding up the ball for us, allowing us to now move up the field, keeping us in possession. Johnny just reading the spaces, working off other players, getting on the ball, gluing us together. So these are all, things, that are important in their game. And if they're able to do that and bring that, then the goals will come, and they know that. So it's not just focusing in on the goals, it's focusing in on all the little things that they're good at and what they bring to. And when you add those all together, then there's the goals. The goals will come, and they'll come in bunches.
Thanks, Mauro.
Thank you.
We'll go with Jim, followed by one last question. If there are any, please raise your hand.
Thank you for taking the time, Coach. You've touched this a couple times. 35 years since you've won in Jamaica. What goes on in that stadium that makes it difficult to play in, and what do you do this time for a different result?
Yeah, I think this is CONCACAF, and every stadium, away stadium is different, is difficult to play in, and we've seen that, we've experienced that throughout our history. And you go into a field where it's not a typical MLS or field that you'd see at some of the other stadiums that they're used to. So you have to be able to adapt to that quickly, and you have to be strong mentally in these games. And I think if we're strong mentally, we're able to now react in different moments, in different situations. That ball may bubble up and hit you in the shin and you lose control, right? But it's not about putting your head down. It's about now reacting in the right way and doing what's needed after that play and getting on with the next play. So I think for us, it's about having that mindset to be able to deal with these conditions, right? Deal with the heat. They've played games in there over the years that are extremely hot that sometimes we weren't acclimatized. So I don't know all those games and over the years, but that's what it is. And so you have to be, the start is you have to be mentally strong and stay focused on what we need to do to get the result. Don't get off script, stay on script, stay focused, get all the little things done right, and that'll give you the best chance to win this game and get the result that we want.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Final question, Andre?
Yes, I have one more question. Is there any player in particular on the Reggae Boys team that you think you have the game plan for that possess the biggest threat to your defense?
Yeah, look, there's 5 of them in the Premiership. You look at that front 4. There's Nicholson that's playing in League One. There's players there, the other players in the Championship. So it's a team that's stacked with a lot of good players, and we know speed, power, technical ability, quality. Like these are all qualities that they have and things that we need to be aware of. And our structures when we don't have the ball are very important, right? And the structures when we do have the ball are very important, because there's the 2 moments. Yes, there's the DO, but there's also the defensive transition, how we deal with that. What are our structures? How are we organizing that super quick so that we're not giving them that space that we want? And these are things that we have to get right, because the minimal of space that you give these types of players, they're going to be able to hurt you. So for us, we have to focus in on how to take care of that. How to make sure that we're not giving them the space that they want. And then for us, it's about hurting them in those 2-3 moments that we may get in the game. We got to be ruthless. We got to hurt them. And I think that's what we need to do against them.
Great answer, Coach. Thank you for speaking with Dre Anyweather Sports.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This will conclude today's Matchday -1 press conference. Thank you, Mara, for taking the time. Best of luck tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.